Well, hello Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the Tarbis. It's great to be back. I had not a whole lot of modeling time today. Took Precious, the Mustang, to get pads replaced. I found some rust on the rotors, so I'm having that taken care of, but that wound up eating up some of the day. Had rain down here, just kind of little things got in the way. But finally got out here, got some work done. As you can tell by the fleece, the temperature's finally starting to come down a little bit in Florida, but I'm not having to run the air conditioner or the heater, so it's actually perfect temperature. I did notice, though, that on the pirate ship, that it could be my imagination, but I think the slightly cooler temperature, I could swear some of the plastic seemed a little bit more brittle, some of the styrene on the ratlines, because a couple of them broke, which not a problem, but it was... when it was warmer, it seems like they were a little more pliable. Maybe my imagination, maybe just my ham fist. But I did get some work done, got some of the rigging started. That brings up kind of an interesting thing about the way the instructions are written. It tells you to put these plastic ratlines on first, those triangular shaped shroud lines that, climb the rigging and everything. You always see the old jack tars climbing up. Well, then it tells you to rig it after that. And so my easy line that I have was too thin. It just was virtually invisible on this scale. So I went ahead and decided to use the thread that came with the kit. And it's working okay. You have a little trouble, you get a little bit of bow because those masts are so tall and so thin that any pressure and they kind of towards each other. But it looks okay. I'm not unhappy with it. And working around the ratlines is a trick. But I realized that, and the way they show you the instructions is they show you put the ratlines on first and then the rigging, but they never show both at the same time because they had to simplify it to be too confusing. But I realized that if you did put the rigging on first, which would be a lot easier for reasons of access, but the way you have to manhandle the model to get all the ratlines in place, you'd probably wind up breaking something. So maybe it was easier to do it according to the instructions, which I did. It all worked out. Maybe it'd be easier to go ahead and put the rigging in first and then just glue the ratlines in place afterwards. I think that might have been actually easier, but who's to say? You guys, I know some of you guys got this kit. I'm sure one of you is going to try rigging it first and then putting the ratlines on, and someone else will put the ratlines on like I did. And either way will work. You still have access. You're going to need some tools or something to get up in there, or just smaller hands than I've got. But it does work, and the detail in the kit's really nice. I only broke one or two things, but got them fixed. I will not be hanging the sails off the bottom of the bowsprit because, to me personally, this is, following the category of make it what you want it to be, kind of our mantra here. And to me, it just messes. I know it's more accurate if you're trying to make the actual French frigate that's accurate, and yeah, you'd want to do that. But I'm making this for a friend who wants to put it on the shelf and look cool, and I think it'll just look so much cleaner and so much better without that hanging underneath the bowsprit. I'm planning to put on the yards and triangular sails to give it that profile, but I wanted to have that billowy, whole 9 yards hanging out look, because that's really what makes a tall ship beautiful, in my opinion. But I don't want to clutter up with stuff that's going to mess up the lines. So I'm definitely making this the way I want it to be, and it is a good kit. I got to trim some flash off, but that guy's really put a lot of work into this. Also, in other news, Mike Machat put out a new video today on the colors used in box art. And no matter how many times we do videos on box art and the color of box art, it always gets a lot of views. So I think something we're all really interested in. I think a lot of us are almost as interested in the box art as we are the models themselves, because it's just so darn beautiful. And he gets into psychology. Mike's a professional artist, so colors are something he knows. Unfortunately, and this is no secret because he mentions it in his video, which, by the way, I'm going to link below if you haven't seen it, is that he is recovering from COVID. On the other hand, at least he's home and able to make some videos, so, take the silver lining where you can find it. And it's a great video. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So go out and watch that. And there were so many things that I wanted to say, and I did leave a few comments that said, you know what? Hey, oh, and by the way, he gave all the Glue Troopers in this channel a shout out, and myself. So I just, all the more reason, every Glue Trooper, you have a homework assignment, go watch Mike's video. Because we're gonna be talking about this on the live stream Saturday night. I think that'll be a great subject to talk about. Unfortunately, several Glue Troopers have told me that they're down with the vid, and I just hope that, you know, you guys are, fortunately, everybody seems to be doing okay, kind of handling like a bad cold. You know, I feel like I'm dodging bullets here, you know, I got my 3 pricks, I mean, shots. So, you know, hopefully, because in my job out there amongst the masses, you know, well, you know what is a happy channel? Let's not even go there. We all know the deal on that. So, my wife, I had to go talk to her today. She's working on like her 3rd Gina Carano, and it's really looking good. She's not done with this, but I mean, little braids in the hair and everything, the detail's insane. And she found this new stuff that it's like mold. She uses this, basically it's like a little putty bondo. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we use, what do they call it, multi-sculpt or something, you know, and she can shape it and everything, it'll harden. Well, she found one that does that, but it hardens into a flexible rubber. And she did, of course, she did her usual beautiful work. I thought she had poured mold or something, and no, she did it both from scratch. They're symmetrical. I didn't think to grab a picture, but it's the shoulder armor. But I was just really impressed, and that got me thinking. This Godzilla that was sent to me recently, that I'm gonna get a chance to get around to doing the diorama with the subs and the ships, and I have to kind of get on that because I want to pose it with the pirate ship also and do a whole Legends of Sea Monster thing going up to, you know, Godzilla eating the sub sandwich. So if I'm able to pull that off, that's no promise. But I come up with these great ideas, but, you know, the carry through sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day. That being said, I was thinking, and I thought about if I ever got another Godzilla, I might do this, about possibly using the model as a mold, make a mold using the arms and legs and everything separate, so I could basically make myself a rubber movable Godzilla that I could use with wires, so I could like do motion and stuff for videos and things. I do have the rubber skin that I can pull off a little RC Godzilla, but it's not quite as big, and it's just, and my Godzilla was the Wehrmacht. I did a couple of little outtakes where I was actually puppeteering it, and that's what I wanted to make was a base, essentially a puppet. You know, because it's stop motion, it takes forever. It took me and my nephew, God, 45 minutes to do like a 7-second shot, and even it was kind of stilted. So it's just, and I thought about getting one of the big RC ones, but they're a couple of grand, and just for the little joke videos and stuff we do and everything, and kicks and giggles, the project can kind of take on a life of its own. So not sure if I'll go down that rabbit hole or not, but I'm at least going to kind of snoop around and look into it. And so I talked about yeah, I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on for tonight. It's really good to be back in here and working again, and I plan to have this ship done within the next few days, provided, you know, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'll get that done. Then I think the sub and Godzilla, the whole diorama thing, I want to probably be the next project. But I did want to do that Johan 31 Cadillac for the Karmer build. I already have a couple of cars made, but I'm just, you know, tend to overload myself. Well, we'll see how the week goes. You know, I just play it by ear. I mean, like I said, it's not a homework assignment. And I did start organizing the pictures that you guys have sent so far for the Karmer build. And I'll hold off on the next viewer's build, which would be 25, till after, a little while after the Karmer build. Plus, you know, right now, pretty much if you send me a picture of a land vehicle, it's going to the Karmer build. So anyway, well guys, oh, and for those who are wondering, yes, I plan to have the Karmer build out at the end of February. Excuse me, the end of this month, the end of January. It may run a few days late. Just to give you too much information, just to see how it works out. Instead of bidding a line and being gone a lot next month, I went ahead and just bid reserve. If they don't use me, I'll be home a lot and get a lot of work done. And if they use me a lot, I'll be gone a lot, kind of giving up, you know, one kind of freedom and hope of another. We'll see what happens. So that's pretty much that. And we can talk about it more at the live stream. Whatever you guys want to talk about, let me know. And you guys take care of yourselves. And as always, model on.